aquí va a ser bueno para vosotros. ¿Qué ha hecho usted, pendejo? Se quemó la caja y vaya por la culpa de ustedes.
Let me thank each and every one of you who's here tonight. I want to appreciate you. Yes, Victory Outreach, I love you. Thank you very much. Praise God. God is great. Thank you. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your commitment to being here tonight on a rainy day. Obviously, all of us would, or many of us would rather be home, in the comforts of our home. I'd rather be able to be warm and in control of our environment. And so I thank you for being here and for that commitment. I thank you, Francisco. And I thank your team for being here to manage this meeting. I've been with you in many public meetings in the past. And I thank you, Francisco. I know of your commitment professionally. I've been with you in meetings related to shootings and meetings related to conflicts in the community. And I know your commitment because I know you're from Lincoln Heights. Unlike many people who are catcalling, you went to Lincoln High School. You were a star in the community. You played sports and you respect other people's point of views. You don't feel a need to cut people off. Their ideas don't intimidate you. Their practices, their experiences aren't anything that intimidate you. So I applaud you for you being here tonight. I also want to ask people to think you're here on a rainy day, it's uncomfortable. I want you to think about other people who don't have an option to go home after tonight's meeting, the fairness of them having to sleep out in the rain. I know that last year when we fought to have one of the few shelters in Highland Park, I know that some people were saying, well, there's rules and regulations and we can't do that. And they said, you know what? I think that we can. I think that a pew is a better place than a sidewalk for someone during a difficult time period, a time of transition. Let me thank you for your courage. Those of you here from Lincoln Heights who have heard what the controversy is, what the challenge is, and who are willing to be here tonight to engage and begin this process of a discussion. To begin a process of a discussion. And if I didn't say that, let me say to begin the process of a discussion.
The process has to be stopped.
Let me finally applaud those who share a vision. A vision that believes that all people deserve a right to housing and shelter. Let me thank those like Father Tess and people from the Sacred Heart community. I want to thank Carl and Robert Vega, Jose Hugo, for being willing to sit down and listen, not to shout, not to try to pull attention through some performance theater, but who were willing to sit down and listen and ask questions and work towards a solution. Let me thank those from the service community, those like El Arca and those like Fiesta Educativa and Arroyo Vista, those who have committed their lives to service, committed a life to helping people improve their plight, who will go and deal with the realities of the people who live here, go beyond the rhetoric and deal honestly with the realities and the challenges. For example, the developmentally disabled community, those who deal with substance abuse, and those, because of the very nature of our nation, make sure that health care is available. Let me thank those for coming to my office and meeting with me.
Be quiet, we try to make
quiero decir gracias a los seniors. Gracias a los seniors que están aquí hoy. The Seniors Club who came to my office. I thank them, all of them. Quiero decir, te quiero mucho, tanto, por su amor, su participación y todo. Many of you who came to visit me are involved in economic development. Steve Kazin, I don't know if you're here tonight, but I thank you for coming with an open mind, for looking at the situation and reevaluating it. I appreciate that. That took a lot of courage. Let me thank the Robelli family for them coming to also with an open mind and continuing to make a commitment to fair economic development in our community. Thank you those from Plaza who came and others. And finally, let me thank all those from the faith-based community. I was inspired by you. I was so pleased to see your commitment to the community. You know, I'm your councilman and I'm honored to be that. I fully embrace my duty to represent you in the council. I'm not here as a product of yelling or bullying or trying to cut someone off or of blogging, but I'm here as a product of our democratic process. And I am your council person. And so I'm very honored to be that. But in addition to that, I'm also the chair of housing and the chair of the immigration committee. And every day I wake up with a pit in my stomach. I wake up with a pit in my stomach because we are in a crisis. It's a crisis of leadership. And so every day we have this challenge where thousands of people are without housing. And it's a housing crisis, it's an affordability crisis, and it's a homeless crisis. And so every day, these are the challenges that I'm confronted with, not just as your council person, but as the chair of that committee who has to work on strategies to address those questions each and every day. So you could see the dilemma that I was confronted with when I first learned of these developments and the proposals of this project. Obviously, I'm committed to housing. Obviously, that's my commitment. But at the same time, I'm committed to the process. And so I wanted to make sure that the people of Lincoln Heights had an opportunity to be involved in the process. So the reason we're here tonight, contrary to your heckles and your catcalls, the reason that we are here tonight is because I pulled the lots out of the motion in December of 16. And I did that so that we can have this meeting tonight. And so this is the first of a series of meetings that will take place because I believe both in housing and in the process, and we need them both. This is a citywide issue, it's a statewide issue, it is an issue that confronts our nation.
So let's spread it out.
We will go forward. We will go forward with this process. And at the end of the day, the fairness of 5 lots out of maybe 250 will become self-evident. At the end of the day, affordability for all those who live and work in this city will become self-evident.
Do you work here?
At the end of the day,
Do you live here?
the challenges of justice will become evident. Let me say to you one of my favorite quotes, and then I want to finish with a conversation I had with a man. The measure of a man is not where he stands at times of conflict or times of comfort and convenience, but rather where they stand at conflict and controversy. The real man will do those things for their neighbor that may jeopardize their standing in the community. I want to be that man. I believe in this room there are men who are willing to be those men. So this process is about to begin, and we will grow together as a community. Finally, let me say this. I had lunch with the mayor yesterday, and I want you to know this. I want you to know this. The mayor would love to be with us tonight. He can't be with us, but he is fully committed to us. He will make sure that we have the resources. He will make sure that we have the process. He recognizes the rule of law, but he will do all that we can in terms of bringing the resources to make sure that whatever housing agreement, whatever project we all come together on, that we will do all that we can to make sure that people in this community, within the limits of the law, are those who participate in the product and the fruits of this labor. In the end, I'm confident we will have a project that reflects our common values, reflects a common vision, that believes in the dignity of people, that believes that all people, as I do, should be treated with dignity and respect, one that recognizes the results of the democratic process, that understands that elections matter, that shouting is important, but voting is more important. That's why we stand here. I want to thank you for those of you who have listened attentively. I want to thank you for those of you who will come back and commit to this process. Francisco, I thank you and your team. And let me say to you that I will remain available to work with all those who are sincere and who want to work to make sure the dignity and respect of those of us who commit ourselves to growing together here in Lincoln Heights, here in the city of Los Angeles, here in our nation, and here in our world. Thank each and every one of you. God bless you. Amen.
Remember, the Lincoln Heights Mayor of Council voted us out 18 to 1. We're not listening to this community. 18 to 1, we voted it down.
Remember, thank you, everyone. Passions are strong.